but up front, grassy, vegetal, winey, vanillas, fruity, apricots, dried fruit, strawberry, and that sugarcane element that just runs throughout this dram. Bit of spiciness, as I said, from the barrel on the end. But overall, just beautifully sweet. Well, good day everybody, and welcome to my channel Whiskey Journey. Today I've got another rum review for you guys. So if you saw my previous review, I mentioned that I would be getting a sample set from an Australian independent bottler called Dead Reckoning, and the sample set actually arrived today. Dead Reckoning have been around for a while. Their bottles are generally sold in Australia, but it's now been made available for the UK market. I picked up this particular sample set from a company in the UK called the Rare Rum Club, and you can actually, if you do decide to get a tasting set, they're still available at the moment on their website, and it's about 50 quid for 6 samples. I ended up getting a 7th sample, but anyway, the sample that I'm looking at today is from the Mhoba distillery in South Africa. Now, if you can hear in my accent, I'm originally from South Africa, lived there for part of my life, but I've been living in Scotland now for quite some time. But you can obviously, if you know what the South African accent sounds like, you'll be able to probably pick it up in my accent. Right, so I'm going to consult my notes and just talk a little bit about this particular rum. So this rum is 100% pot distilled rum made in South Africa, produced from fermented sugarcane juice. The sugarcane is actually grown in the fields surrounding the distillery, and that's the sugarcane that is used for this. This is only maturation is only 2 years and 5 months, so very young. So I spent 2 years in a French oak wine cask, which held South African red wine, and then 5 months in an ex-bourbon barrel, Australian aged, in South Australia for 5 months. 377 bottles only, 56% ABV, bottled in December of 2022. Now my understanding is that price-wise, in Australia when this was released, I believe it was roughly about 150 Australian dollars, which converted in pounds is about 77, 80 pounds, there and thereabouts. This sells now in the UK. It is pricey. It's 190 pounds or 189.99, so basically 190 quid, which, let's be frank, is rather expensive for a two-year, 5-month-old. But as usual, it's always about the juice and what we get from the notes. So the first time I'm ever trying a rum from Mhoba, the Mhoba distillery. So I'm really intrigued to try this. This has been resting now in the glass for about 20 minutes. We'll try it at its full strength first and then add a bit of water and see what we get. Okay. Right, so really looking forward to trying this one. So let's see what we get on the nose first with this one. Very, very sweet. Definitely get sugarcane, that sort of note. There's a bit of funk as well that kind of almost reminds me of the 8-year-old Fijian one that I tried from dram. Definitely get very strong sugarcane notes on this one, and quite funky. There's almost a vegetal edge as well to this. And definitely get the influence from the French oak wine cask. Definitely a winey sort of element to this. There is some vanilla there too. There's some woodiness from the barrel, or the barrels that were used. But yeah, overall just a beautiful sweet nose, very sweet. There are some other fruits as well there, some darker type fruits, maybe some apricot, a touch of strawberry too. So yeah, overall just a lovely, lovely nose. Very, very sweet with lots of interesting notes. So let's just try this first now on the palate and see what we get. Definitely some spiciness there on the end. So that comes across on the palate. Very, very sweet, fruity, a bit of grass, touch herbal, vanilla, lots of vanilla, which leading into the finish. Nice hit of spice at the end. Nice bit of heat as well on the palate. A little bit of alcohol presence, but overall I think the alcohol is really well integrated, bearing in mind that this is only 2 years and 5 months of maturation. Getting that winey element, red wine. But overall that sugarcane note, beautiful sweetness from this, which mingles very, very nicely with that red wine note as well. And that makes this quite interesting for me because I can't think of many rums that I've tried that have red wine cask maturation. And I mean, I've tried many whiskies that have got red wine maturation. The Long Row Red series would be the most obvious choice, or the most obvious drams that I've tried before and have loved. But this one as well, that wine note is just continuing in the finish, mingling together with that sugar cane element. There's some apricot there too. There's some dried fruit character, definitely. Some strawberry. It becomes really foresty, almost grassy. Reminds me a little bit of that agricole rum that I tried recently from Dram, the Secret Martinique distillery. But that's just lovely, guys. Really, really nice. So let's just try it with a few drops of water. See if the profile changes at all. So just make it 3 drops, I think. That shouldn't change the profile too much, but let's just have a wee nose and see what we get with those few drops of water. That finish is long. It's just remaining grassy, vegetal, winey, with fruits and vanilla, sweet, very sweet. Yeah, it's lovely. All right, so let's just go on to the nose quickly with those few drops of water. Okay, so the sugarcane element is still there. That funky element that I get, that I got on its full strength, it's still there, but maybe not quite as funky as when first nosing. Still getting that winey red wine element. Grassiness, vegetal, funky. A little bit of honey as well. Yeah, it's such an interesting nose. As I say, I can't think of another rum that I've had that smells like this or tastes like this. As I say, I get different elements from other rums that I've tried, especially the Fijian, the 8-year-old from Dram, which definitely has that sort of funk. But this is quite unique. Can't say I've had anything quite like this. Yeah, stunning nose. Okay, so let's just have another wee taste. There's a few drops of water have brought down the spiciness slightly on the finish, but up front, grassy, vegetal, winey, vanillas, fruity, apricots, dried fruit, strawberry, and that sugarcane element that just runs throughout this dram. But a spiciness, as I said, from the barrel on the end. But overall, just beautifully sweet. And as I said, that vegetal note remains as well. The finish is long and becomes, for me, more interesting the longer it sits there. You get all these different notes just popping, and it just changes whilst you're just sitting there without any of the juice in your mouth, basically. The finish just remains long. Good maturity, even though it's only 2 years and 5 months. I would have guessed this is older. That could be down to the climate and the heat that you get in South Africa and also in Australia. You know, it probably adds to the maturation, in my opinion. So you're getting a good blend of what I feel is young and raw and youthful, but there is some maturity there. And I think the red wine cask just rounds everything off and gives a bit of unique flavour. It's winey, but not overly so. You're still getting the sugarcane element, which is really what you're looking for with this type of rum. But yeah, that's just excellent, guys. Absolute cracker of a rum. I wish I could get a bottle and spend some time with this and just get to know it a lot more. As it stands, I've just got that 5cl sample, which I'll obviously finish tonight. Price is the only thing for me. I mean, it's 190 quid for a 2-year, 5-month-old, and you know, I guess I shouldn't be looking at the age, but you subconsciously, I guess, you just look at the age, or you think about the age, and you think, you know, bang for buck. But it really comes down to the experience. So if I had the money, if I had that sort of money for this bottle, I would certainly get a bottle, because I do think that it's unique and very different to anything else that's out there. And just a privilege to be able to try rum from South Africa, where I was born. And yeah, I'll definitely keep my eye out for more bottles of Mhoba. As I say, this one definitely worth a tasting, guys. So if you, as I said, the Rare Rum Club has got the tasting set on offer, and this particular sample is part of the tasting set. As I say, 50 quid for 6 5cl samples. Can't really complain about that. And you get to try 6 different unique rums. But this one is just highly enjoyable, and I just love that winey element, that red wine element, mingling with the vegetal nature and the sugarcane element. Just quite classy, actually. And as I said, 2 years, 5 months, I would have guessed the age was a lot older than that. Okay, enough of my rambling, guys. Okay, so anyway, guys, as I said, that just about wraps things up with my review. So as I said, that is Dead Reckoning's Mhoba, 2 years and 5 months old maturation, 2 years in the French oak cask that held red wine from South Africa, and 5 months ex-bourbon barrel in South Australia. Okay, and highly enjoyable sample, guys. Right, so guys, if you enjoy my content, please like, comment and subscribe to the channel. It is always appreciated. But as usual, guys, there's not much else to say except have a fantastic day, and I'll see all of you again soon. Take care. Cheers.